Hello guys, today we will see about what is casting and in C++. So we have uh, implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. So implicit type conversion is like converting one type to another type without explicitly mentioning this need to be converted to another type. It will be automatically handled by the compiler. So that is implicit type conversion. And we have another type conversion, explicit type conversion. So whenever a user explicitly mention in the code that this need to be converted to this particular type, then that is the explicit type conversion. And what is casting? So casting is nothing but it's whenever a user does an explicit type conversion, that is called casting. So casting is nothing but converting one type to another, and the user need to be explicitly mentioning that in the code. So that code is called like casting. That line of code is called type casting. So whenever we explicitly do type conversion, that is known as casting, whereas the implicit type conversion is not named as casting. So we have, so this is casting. So casting is nothing but a explicit type conversion. And so before moving to what are the types of explicit uh, type conversion, we need to know what is a type. A type. So what is a type? So we have many. It's it is the type is nothing but um, a representation of bits. So this is known as a type. A type is nothing but a representation of bits. So what is representation of bits? I will give a simple example. So if we have 8 bytes of memory, so consider we have allocated 8 bytes of memory. So this 8 bytes of memory, how it can be represented? It can be represented in many types, right? So first one, consider it can be represented as float. Float is 8 bytes. And consider int. Int is of 4 bytes. So it should be of array 2. And this 8 byte can be represented as float. Float is of 8 byte. So it can be a scalar value float or an array value of integer of size 2. Or it can be uh, represented as struct of having variable having 2 integers. So this is also 8 bytes. So it can be represented like this also, or it can be represented as the array of characters of 8 size, and it can be represented as uh, so unsigned int of 16 bits. So 16 bits means 2 bytes, so it should be of size 4. So it can be of this unsigned int 16-bit unsigned int of array of size 4. So it can be represented in like this. It can be represented in many ways. So if we take a 8-byte memory, so it can be represented in many format. So this is known as a type. So this is known as the representation of bits. It can be represented in any format. So if we represent this as float, then 8 byte need to be converted into value, and corresponding float value will be computed. Whereas if it is of int of array 2, then first 4 bit will be computed as one separate integer and the next 4 bits will be computed as separate integer. If it is struct of 2 integer, similarly first 4 bits will be allocated to A and next 4 bits will be allocated to B. If it is of character of 8 array size means, then each byte will be converted into separate character value. So if it is of unsigned in 16-bit variable size of 4 means, then the two bits will be converted into each array element. So this is known as the uh, representation of bits, and for each type we can the value of the variables will vary, but the memory is same. The bits are same, but if you take the value, how we represent the bit is different. So that is called as type. So the type conversion is nothing but we can convert from one of these type to any of the types. It's not necessary that we can convert to only 8-bit. It can be type converted to type which is less than the 8-bit or more than the 8-bit, but it may cause issue. So this is known as type type, and this is called as type conversion and casting. So casting is nothing but explicit type conversion, and this explicit uh, type conversion we have two types. So this explicit conversion is nothing but casting. So we have two types of casting. One is C style casting and another is C++ style casting. So this C type casting is nothing but for constructor we have float variable, and if you have an integer and we have to, so here implicit type conversion happens, but I am just explicitly mentioning to float. So this this style of doing type conversion, like before the variable, we need to mention the data type which needs to be converted. Sorry, it needs to be converted to int. So I am representing in braces to which it need to be converted. So this type of doing type casting is called C style casting. So consider I am having a base object and I have a derived object, and I have to uh, cast this D to base object. So this is also an explicit type conversion, and this is C style casting, because I am just mentioning the data type which it need to be converted in before the variable in parentheses. So this is C style casting. Whereas C plus, so this is C style casting, and we have C++ style casting. In C++, we have like C++ have introduced four casting operators for doing casting. So basically, it have four operators. So the first one is static cast, then second one is dynamic cast, third one is const cast, and the fourth one is reinterpret cast. So these are the casting operators C++ have introduced in it. So these are used to convert, so do the explicit like casting in C++. We avoid doing C style casting in C++, and Rather we use C++ style casting. So these are operators, casting operators, but these do not involve in operator precedence. These are just the keywords introduced in the C++. These are not part of header file. These are just keywords. So I'll give one example how we can cast. So these two we have done in C style casting. We will do it in same in C++ casting. So instead I am doing static casting. I will explain what are these types of casting in the next videos. I'm just providing the syntax of how we can typecast the C in C++. So it's in parentheses. Here we need to mention the data type, whereas here we need to provide the casting operator along with the data type which need to be casted inside the angular braces, and inside the braces we need to provide the variable. So here it needs to be casted to base. So I am using dynamic cast here. I'll explain what are these static, dynamic and all. And here in this video I will just explain the syntax. So here I'm providing like using the operator, and inside Angular I need to give the type which need to be converted, and inside parentheses I need to provide the variable. So this is C++ style casting, and this is C style casting. So I hope you have so guys, I hope you have understood what is casting and type, and the C style casting and C++ style casting. I will explain what are the C++ style casting, like what are the types we have, and where we need to use these type of casts in the upcoming videos. So thank you guys.